Hello and welcome to Let's Talk Sport. It is another week of Champions League action, and I am joined again by Seb True, Luke Tanner, and Conor Porter to preview the Champions League after what was an emphatic round 3. We're going to look ahead to round 4. So on Tuesday night, we've got Rennes versus Chelsea, Krasnodar Sevilla, United Istanbul Basaksehir. I hope I haven't butchered that name. Dynamo Kiev versus Barcelona, PSG Leipzig, Lazio Zenit, Dortmund Bruges, and Juventus versus Ferencváros. Apologies for my pronunciations there. I'm not very good at pronouncing names like that. Barely speak English. We're going to start off with the Rennes versus Chelsea game, and I'm going to come to you first, Conor. Obviously, last time out, Chelsea won 3-0 against Rennes. Do you think this is another done deal for Chelsea, or do you think Rennes will, seeing that they're home this time round, cause Chelsea a few problems?
Yes, hello, Joe. I think this is going to be a comfortable win for Chelsea. You know, as you said, very similar scenario, I think, to when they played last time around. And also, we're in a scenario now for Chelsea where if they win this game, they will quite comfortably qualify out of the group. Whereas I think some of the other English teams are in a different situations. So I see Chelsea winning this game quite comfortably. Similar situation to what they had at the weekend against Newcastle. I think quite a similar team will probably play. Maybe a few changes here and there, depending on the fitness of Thiago, whether or not he's good enough to go, and as well as Kai Havertz. But at the same time, you know, if Chelsea think that they can comfortably win this game without those two, they may give them more further time to rest. So I think Frank Lampard will probably go with the same team that he had at the weekend. And I could see them easily winning this game, you know, by that same 3-goal margin, in even at Rennes, which I think as well as Mendy's former club, if I remember correctly.
Yes.
So it'll be a return home for him, to his former home, shall we say, for him. So I think he'll be fine on the night as well with Chelsea. I think they'll easily win the game.
Seb, you're our resident European football expert. You're looking at the Group A. Group A, you got Chelsea on 7 points with Sevilla. Obviously, goal difference of 7 to Sevilla's 2, but comes to head-to-head record in the Champions League. You got Krasnodar in third with 1 point, and Rennes bottom with 1 point as well. Rennes at the weekend lost to Bordeaux 1-0. So you're looking at Rennes. Do you really give? Obviously, Conor said he doesn't give them much chance of winning. You think it'd be an easy Chelsea win? What do you think? Who do you think is going to be threatening to Chelsea for Rennes?
I'd have to say Chelsea, because Chelsea just even automatically seem more comfortable away from home. Rennes, they've currently lost their last 3, one of those being against Chelsea. It'll be the battle of the 2 Senegalese goalkeepers, with Mendy against his former club and Gomez, who's in the Rennes goal. Yeah, it's just, I don't think there's any competition. Rennes don't have players out, but they're lacking a lot of fluidity now. They're falling quite far in the French table. I think about 8th or 7th, somewhere around there. So it's not great. And Chelsea should get out of this group. Sevilla being unconvincing. Chelsea couldn't have conceded a goal in the group. This should be an easy Chelsea win. And I'd expect them to get multiple amounts of goals.
So we're going to move on from that group, and we're going to move to Group G and a clash between Manchester United and Istanbul Basaksehir. So you're looking at Group H standings at the moment. Manchester United and Leipzig both on 6 points. United is currently sitting on top. PSG in third, looking at Europa League football at the moment, and Istanbul Basaksehir bottom with 3 points.
I think Joe, just for the sake of continue on this video without any more problems, let's just call him Basaksehir, okay? Don't mention the Istanbul, just call him Basaksehir. Just continue on from that. You know.
Okay, right, because my pronunciation's that spot on.
Yeah.
I might just go with just Istanbul. I might just go with that.
Yeah, go.
No, there's too. I mean, there's too many teams that play in the Istanbul area. You're gonna cause problems by doing that. So.
We'll call them Bassa. Anyway, Luke, last time out, Istanbul Basaksehir. There you go. Just for Conor there. Basaksehir beat Manchester United 2-1 in their first competition against the 2. Do you really think that Manchester United will lose again this time, or do you think that result was a one-off?
I don't know really. It all depends on what United's going to turn up. I know with United, I think Dean Henderson's confirmed to start tomorrow. I think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer came out in the press conference saying he's going to start. I don't know. It depends which United turns up. United have been a bit of a streaky team. Some games they turn up, play really well, like PSG away, and there's some games like West Brom or like Arsenal where it's lackluster. I do expect United to win. You know what? I expect United to win with the quality they've got. I do expect Paul Pogba to come back in. I do expect some changes, but I don't know. Like a few years ago, you'd bank on United to win this game, but now I don't know whether or not that it's really a banker that United are going to win. It wouldn't surprise me if they drew, and it wouldn't surprise me if they lost. It'd be funny if they lost, because I'm a Liverpool fan and seeing them lose is funny, but I just don't know what's going to happen in this game. One thing's for certain, United need to find their shooting boots, because the game against West Brom, they probably should have beaten West Brom 2-3-0. So they'll need to find their shooting boots for this game to win.
Yeah, I mean, Man United typically are bad at home, aren't they, this season? And it was weird that they'd lost the game away at Basaksehir, yeah. They had to win that game away, and they have to win this one at home to give themselves a shouting chance. Because if they win both games in a hypothetical world, they're through. And that's important in this group of death. So Man United really have to win tomorrow if they want to give themselves any chance. I do expect them to win. I think it'll be comfortable no matter what. I don't see Istanbul posing any problem. I mean, they're honestly not a great team, and it was probably a freak result from them in the first one because Man United decided that the highest player on the pitch would be in the opposing 16-yard box. So yeah, I think tomorrow they won't make the same mistakes. It'll be an easy win.
I just want to take a look at the Istanbul squad. You got a few names in that used to play in the Premier League. You got Demba Ba, Nasser Chadli, Raphael, former Manchester United player, and former Liverpool defender Martin Skirtle, to name a few. So it's interesting to see, having a look at their squad, that they've got plenty of experience, especially with a few of them playing in the Champions League as well. So we're going to move on to the other game in Group H, and it's going to be PSG versus Leipzig. So last time out, let me just double check the score on that one last time out. So fellas,
it was 2-1 to Leipzig. Yeah.
Can I say it'll be so funny if PSG get Europa League football? Like, that would be hilarious considering the money that's been pumped into this PSG project. If they don't go through this group, I can imagine Thomas Tuchel, his head is on the chopping block, ready to roll. Because for me, that would be unacceptable for a manager of PSG, considering the money that has been spent at that squad. And let's say they do get Europa League football, that's Mbappe leaving in the summer. That is a guaranteed rubber stamp. He's leaving because he's not going to be wanting to stick around a club that can't even qualify for their own Champions League group.
Seb, I want to ask you this question because I feel as though you'll give quite a nice answer to this. But given the situation that PSG are in the moment in the Champions League and the way that Moise Keane's played in the league for them, do you think Moise Keane deserves to start tomorrow?
Well, considering that it's going to be Mbappe's going to be fit, and Neymar came on the other night in the second half, so he most likely will be fit for tomorrow. Yes and no, but I struggle to see how they put Keane and Mbappe, Neymar on that same team. It just doesn't. It seems a bit dysfunctional. Keane doesn't work hard enough in periods of the games. I'd say, on current goal scoring form, though. I mean, the last Champions League, not Champions League match, the last. He scored 2 in the game against. No, I don't remember. But anyway, I think he should be starting tomorrow, but I don't think he will because I think Thomas Tuchel might take less chances. So I'd like to say yes, but no.
I think
it's going to be Di Maria, Mbappe, and Neymar in front most probably, and he's not going to put a fourth attacker against a very high pressing Leipzig team. I just don't see it happening. I think he does deserve a chance, but I don't think he will have it.
Sticking with
PSG
PSG,
need to win. PSG need to win that game. They can't afford to lose against Leipzig, or it looks like it could be over.
They're not going to have Druza Garnagay and Kimpepe early either, because they got sent off in that last game against Leipzig.
That's the point. If they decide to put two in midfield, if they decided to get two in midfield, they're going to be exposed.
Yeah, you're looking at PSG. Obviously, at the weekend they lost 3-2 to Monaco. You said you watched that game, Seb?
Oh, it was a fun game, that's for sure. I was a bit shocked that Monaco got back into it, but it was shocking that PSG just capitulated so badly. Thomas Tuchel probably made a bad decision by bringing on a Neymar and taking off Mbappe near around the end. But yeah, it's pretty worrying from PSG. It was one of those typical ones where they lose their head and just make silly mistakes. I mean, the last goal was a Fabregas penalty. Just silly errors constantly for PSG, and that's what you got to worry about. But Leipzig aren't a force away from home, so I don't expect them to get anything. They struggled so badly when they play away from home, so I think this has got to be an easy
Diallo poor for PSG? I saw him get sent off, and I saw the penalty. I thought, oh, that's a bit clumsy.
Yeah, that's the thing. You just lose their head a bit. It doesn't make sense. It's not. If you want to be competing in the Champions League, you can't be making errors like that and losing your head. And Kimbepe was poor again, which I'm disappointed about, because he's been really good recently, showing that he could probably be that centre back who finally takes the PSG team forward, and he makes silly mistakes and is just head elsewhere.
Considering the depth of centre backs that can play for France, Kimpembe's probably thinking that he needs to, step it up a level if he wants to get in the squad for the Euros, because the competition at centre back is ridiculous. But Seb, do you think if PSG don't qualify for the next stages, do you think Thomas Tuchel lasts the season?
No.
Because I think his head rolls as soon as they go into the Europa League.
Thomas Tuchel is a very hard person to like. Dortmund were happy to get him out the door when they got him out the door. And he's not made a lot of friends at PSG, even at his comments after the last match. I can't remember what they were, but they had PSG fans and just absolutely mad. So I think he's walking a very tight rope at this moment. And if he doesn't qualify for the next round, it won't happen this week, obviously, because there's still the matches to play.
Yeah.
But he's walking himself into maybe unemployment if he continues this way.
Pochettino's waiting in the wings, obviously.
That's the
so they're going to get a City job. Maybe it's.
I'm going to ask you all a bit of a loaded question here to end Group H. Will PSG qualify?
I think they will.
Because I'm going to say Manchester United do. But
I think Man United fall out. I think Man United just fall out.
I think they're going to do it. I think.
Sorry, go on.
No, go on.
I think PSG will qualify. I think the deciding game will be between Leipzig and United as to decide who goes with them. But I'm undecided as to who wins the group overall. I think that winner will be decided in these final three games.
Because if say for instance Paris beat Leipzig, and then Paris beat Man United, for instance, and then Leipzig win the two remaining games, it will be heavily dependent on that United game. If they can win by more than 5 goals, then Leipzig go through, because it's not goal difference, it's face to face, head to head. Yes. So if it does come to that, then Leipzig might have quite a tough night of trying to get 5 goals past United in the last game of their group, which could be interesting.
If you saw when United got drawn, journalists were saying, "Yeah, United are out. Like, see you later, goodbye."
But that's why they need to win the last game. If they win the last game,
but even before the group started, like journalists were saying, "Yeah, United finishing third." So for me, I think United might qualify, and it might be PSG that miss out, because for me, like they don't seem to turn up in the Champions League. For me recently, I just don't get it. Like the attitude is different. I don't know whether or not it's because they're not tested in the French league as much as, let's say, some of the teams around Europe. And I just feel like PSG walk through the league with the slippers on, and then when they come to the Champions League, and when there's this,
I think you're being highly critical for a side that reached the Champions League final last season.
Yeah, I know, but like, Colin, like Atalanta were a whisker away of knocking
but they
them
still
out.
beat a very good Atlanta team, didn't they?
Yeah, I don't know. I think PSG might miss out.
It depends on how much they win tomorrow.
If they do, because
they're probably going to win tomorrow 2-0, and then if they win tomorrow 2-0, they're in a comfortable position.
Spent £500 million on attackers.
Doesn't matter though, I suppose. It's as long as they get through. Anyway, let's move on to Wednesday night. We've got Olympiacos, Manchester City, Mönchengladbach versus Shakhtar Donetsk, Marseille versus Porto, Liverpool, Atalanta, Inter, Real Madrid, Bayern, Salzburg, Atletico Lokomotiv Moscow, Ajax and Midtjylland. So we're going to start off looking at Manchester City and their game against Olympiacos, which, let's be honest, isn't going to trouble them too much, I wouldn't have thought. Let's start off with you, Connor. Obviously, last time out between the two sides, Manchester City ran out easy winners. So is it going to be more of the same with another 3-0 scoreline, or do you think Olympiacos at home, because they normally do quite well at home, will actually get the result this time?
No, I think City will win. I'm not too sure if it'll be a comfortable win as what they did at home, but the big thing for City is that hopefully they'll have a fully fit Sergio Aguero and Raheem Sterling back in their starting 11 and push forward on from there from the loss against Tottenham at the weekend, because they've got to somehow make an impact in one of these competitions, and so far it's been the Champions League with the performances of Ferran Torres in the earlier games. And building on from that, hopefully with the returns of Sterling and Aguero, they'll put out a decent performance, I think, against Olympiacos, who I think they're out with. They don't have Valbuena in their team, which will be an interesting to see how they cope without him. And I think it'll just be overall interesting to see how Olympiacos just cope with a City team that is coming back to being full strength once more after having a couple of injuries over the past couple of weeks. So yeah, I'm predicting an easy, comfortable City win. I don't want to really put a scoreline onto it, because I think, as you said, Olympiacos, they are a team over the past couple of years that have competed well against teams that come into their own stadium, but I'm not expecting them to pick up a result against City, unfortunately, on this occasion, which I think would spell them pretty far away from finishing top of the group, and put them in a really difficult situation to try and get themselves into that second spot, depending on how well they play against Porto the next time these two teams meet. So yeah, I'm going to go for a City win.
Yeah, you saying City win would consolidate first place for them. They are currently top, 3 games played with 9 points. Porto currently second with 6 points. Olympiacos with 3 points, looking at Europa League football at the moment, and Marseille rock bottom with no wins and no points and a goal difference of -7. So we're looking at Olympiacos, Seb.
I just wanted to bring up the idea that in 2020 they've failed to win 3 games at home this season. 2 of them have come against English opposition, one being Wolves, one being Arsenal. So I mean, if that doesn't have the writing on the wall already.
Is that an omen, do you think, Seb, that they can't do it against English teams?
They can't do it against English teams, yeah. They might be able to do it at Stoke on a Tuesday night, but they just can't do it at home against the English.
Same red and stripes, same red and stripes. They like clash
and
cancel each other out.
Exactly. But yeah, Olympiacos, they know they're going into this they can't realistically think that they'll get second place. If they get third, that was already seen as probably a success story for them. They're in pole position to do so because Marseille are just so bad, even in the words of Andrew Villas-Boas. And yeah, I don't see any way of even Olympiacos scoring a goal. But this is a good match for maybe a Torres or even just a Sterling or a Foden to get some goals, get some good game time, and bring that confidence back up in front of goal. That's really what City need at the moment, because it's done. They're qualified. They've qualified for the next round of the Champions League. Let's be honest. So I think it's just a good chance to get some players playing tonight. Not tonight. Wednesday night.
Moving on to Group D and Liverpool versus Atalanta. Obviously, Luke, you're a Liverpool fan. We'll go to you. Last time out, Liverpool with an emphatic 5-0 win over in Italy, in Bergamo. But Atalanta like we said last time before in the preview, our team that score goals, and with Liverpool having players out injured and possibly resting one or two potentially, do you think Atalanta can come away from Anfield with some points or with a point?
I'm expecting it to be a much tighter game than it was a couple of weeks ago. I thought that 5-0 was completely out of the blue. I do expect changes, even though for me personally in this game, I do everything possible to win the game and basically seal the group for Liverpool to then do whatever you'd want in the last two. But I think for Klopp, it wouldn't surprise you if Nico Williams comes in at right back, if Reece Williams comes in for probably Matip, just so Klopp can wrap him up in cotton wool, ready for Brighton. I think Henderson might be back for the Atalanta game, which will be good to give her to take out Naby Keita because he's injured. Salah's tested negative, so I expect him to come in. Whether or not we're going to see the same front line as we did when it was Mane, Jota, Salah is to be seen. I do expect Salah to come straight back in either Bobby or I'd rest Mane personally. I'd rest him for this game. Make sure that don't overwork him. Obviously injuries. I wouldn't play Robertson. I play Shimikas, getting minutes in his legs, because let's be honest, this group is near enough done. I know it's not mathematically over, but I think for Klopp, he sort of knows that he only needs one more result, and then that's the group done, and then he can start playing your Origis, Minamino, Shakiris in against Ajax and Midtjylland towards the end of the group.
Yeah, so you're saying that you think Group D is done. Liverpool currently sitting top with 9 points. Ajax second, just ahead of Atalanta, both with 4 points. And then obviously Midtjylland rock bottom with no points. So you talk about the youngsters there, Luke, and I'm going to bring it on to Conor here. So Luke reckons the youngsters will take part, and Klopp will run the changes. Let's have a look at Reece Williams. I don't know if you know much about him, Conor, the young lad at centre back.
But isn't he injured at the moment? I thought he was.
He was withdrawn from the under-21s as a precaution because of a hip. So I don't know.
This game against Atalanta, you put it up as a potential win. In order for that to happen, I think Liverpool need to play their best squad just to make sure of it. So I don't see them running the risk with Reece Williams, an inexperienced player who also is injured. So. Yeah.
Well, again, Reece Williams played away, and I thought he did better than Joe Gomez that game.
But at the same time, he is injured at the moment, so I don't see the point of Klopp running him out with an injury. Or even though he is recently returning from an injury, he's still been out a week.
It's just unfortunate that Nat Phillips isn't registered in the Champions League. Because if he was registered in the Champions League,
it's more of a squad problem really than anything else, really.
Yeah.
So I could see Reece Williams being on the bench in that instance, but just being an unused player from the bench. But I'm not expecting him to play in the game. Added on to what you said about Salah, I think they had the testing for the Champions League games today, and I don't know if that's came back negative as well. So long as that comes back negative, you'll be able to play. So
I think it did. I think it did because it was shown on Twitter of him training with the rest of the boys.
If he's trained, then I would expect him to play. So I'm fully expecting him to play, and the way that Hotter's been playing as well, I expect him to play. So it might very well be that, especially with the Keita injury, it might very well be the situation that Liverpool find themselves in, playing Wijnaldum and Henderson in the midfield with that attacking four that they had in.
I wouldn't surprise if that happened.
Yeah, with that attacking four. So
I do expect Nico Williams to come in at right back, and if Klopp does stick with the three, James Milner makes his way back into that midfield.
Yeah, that would be the kicker really with Henderson. If he's fit enough to play, then he'll play, and Milner probably be on the bench. But
yeah, it wouldn't surprise me.
Other than that, I don't want to talk about Liverpool anymore. So
I'm going to talk about. I'm going to put in a bit on Atalanta.
Thank you.
They've dried up a bit on the goals recently. They've managed to. Gasperini's changed it a bit. a bit more defensive, but that's for obvious reasons because they've got so many injuries. So out of the ones that started against Liverpool, I mean, it wasn't a full strength Atalanta team, but there's Mojica, there's Muriel, there's Hateboa, and there's also Jimsty, if I pronounced that right, who are all out. So this Atalanta team are all hindered as well.
To my ears.
This Atalanta team is hindered with injuries as well. I'd be curious to know how they're going to play, but they're going to struggle. They are surely going to struggle against Liverpool. So it's a bit of a tough one. I don't think they can get anything from Anfield. Just saying that.
So you're going for Liverpool wins then?
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
And we're going to look at the last game we're going to look at is from the very open Group B between Inter Milan and Real Madrid. Okay, so going into this game, Group B's open with Mönchengladbach top with 5 points, Shakhtar Donetsk in second with 4, Real Madrid third with 4 points, and then Inter Milan rock bottom on 2 points. So at the moment, we're going to stick with you, Seb. Group B is looking very, very open, but going into the game, would you say Inter Milan are favourites at the San Siro, or would you reckon Real Madrid will get the result?
I'd say the Inter Milan are probably favourites. I was impressed with the way they came back at the weekend. They were 2-0 down, and they managed to against Torino, and then they came back to win 4-2. But Lukaku's fit, and that's key. That's the key to the whole game. Lukaku is fit. So, considering that Real Madrid have Militao and Ramos both injured, I think they're going to struggle big time. Yesterday against Villarreal, played Nacho at centre-back next to Varane. So it's not plain sailing. So I don't know. They saved Benzema, but I don't see how Real Madrid can actually win because Benzema, I think he's got a niggle. So if Benzema doesn't play, there's no Ramos, no Militao. I don't see how they can win. And plus, I mean, I actually didn't have a plus. I don't know what I was going to say.
Well, I was going to add, I don't think Zidane knows his best 11, which would put him in a hindrance against Conte, who's been playing brilliant with Inter. And
I mean, Inter are in the same situation. They don't really know what their best 11 is. You play Martinez, you play Sanchez. I mean, they've got similar problems. That's why the match was actually tight the last time. But it's Lukaku. Lukaku's the main guy, and he is the big leader in that team, and he just on his own can beat Real Madrid, I think.
But don't Inter as well? Don't they have 2 players off of the COVID as well? Isn't Brozovic and Kolarov positive tests too?
Yeah, but it's probably a blessing in disguise that Kolarov actually sits out this, because I still don't understand why Conte is playing Kolarov and why he's playing him in the back 3. So I think it's probably the best thing to happen to Inter, even if Conte wouldn't say it. So Brozovic is a miss, but Kolarov,
new. And I think something else I read as well was that Arturo Vidal is very close to getting another booking, which would see him miss games. Do you think
another blessing in disguise? I think.
You think?
Why?
I think so. Yeah.
Has he not been good?
Okay, so he has his moments, but then if you look in the Champions League particularly, he just has so many lapses in concentration that he just gives goals away almost. He was culpable in the game against Mönchengladbach and against Real Madrid. So I think it'd kind of be a blessing in disguise if he were to pick up that second book or the third booking. Is it 2 bookings?
Yeah, it's 1 more booking away from a ban, so it would be just.
And that might give Christian Eriksen a good chance to play a game. I mean,
hey, he's off to Arsenal if you see the rumours.
Oh, Christian Eriksen won't join Arsenal. There's no chance an ex-Spurs player joins Arsenal.
I will say this on the Inter Real Madrid game. I think it's going to be a draw. I just think going by everything, taking everything into account, the potential of Brozovic missing, and on the flip side, Ramos missing for Real Madrid, I think it kind of equals itself out to a point where I think it's going to be like a draw between these 2 teams.
Yeah,
I think Inter are going to edge it. I think Inter are going to edge it, and I like the way Sanchez linked up with Lukaku the other day. I thought it looked really good. So if he plays, not sure, it could be Martinez who also links up well with Lukaku. I think Inter will win this. I don't think Real Madrid can win a match without Ramos and just Ramos on his own, but especially if Benzema's not there, no.
Like Varane needs to step up this game because he was he's one of the best defenders in the world, but is one of the best defenders in the world because Ramos has been holding his hand, and it looks like that Ramos has been holding his hand. It's like going back to Liverpool. It's like Joe Gomez and Virgil van Dijk. Like Joe Gomez only looked that good because Virgil was holding his hand, and when he was out, he still looked good, but not as good as it was with Virgil. I just feel like with Varane, like he's not that leader, that aggressive ball winner like Ramos is, and I think he is struggling without him, like really without him. And with Romelu Lukaku in red hot form, like it could be a tough night for him.
But that's what's complimentary about them. So Ramos is the one who'll go diving into tackles, and he does it well. I mean, it's a bit irrational, but he does it well. Varane knows that he can sit back. I'm not sure if it's the same with Nacho or whoever decides to play next to him. I might even try Casemiro, but it's still worrying. Varane is a bit lost without that aggressive ball winner and centre-back next to him.
I think it'll be interesting, especially if Inter Milan do win. It will see Real Madrid bottom of the table, and it will mean that they've gone from a couple of seasons ago winning 3 Champions Leagues in a row to failing to qualify for the last 16, and question marks will be asked about the Madrid side and Zinedine Zidane. But anyway, that's been our preview and look ahead to this week's Champions League fixtures. Who do you think will win the games that we previewed below? Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and we'll see you all on the channel very soon.